We're live recording from the Pacific Northwest. Friday night, July 14th, 10:11 p.m. This is Skull.
Hey, how's it going? Oh, I'm good too. Thanks for asking.
This is Jay, pointing to me. For those of you listening. Behind us is a thrift store Garfield pillow.
From like the early 80s,
Yeah.
mid 80s. Cuz for a while in the 70s, he looked different as Jim Davis like developed the design. Whatever, Paws Incorporated. They went out, they were like, "Hey, it's collectible stuff." But there was like 1950s Charlie Brown collectible stuff like from the comic strip. Maybe it was just mid-range. Maybe there like a bunch of middle-class people made a bunch of middle-class money selling Charlie Brown stuff in like the 50s through the 70s or whatever. I mean, there's still that stuff, 80s, 90s. What was it, 2015 when that movie came out?
You would know.
I looked it
You
up.
paid for it.
What didn't we look up today?
What, didn't we?
We were gonna
Oh,
so I wanted
shit.
what does the census say the individual income is? Median individual income. Listeners, let me know if you find this. Um,
Or not.
yeah. What
Uh-huh.
it was another kind of housing price related thing that we were talking about.
Oh, you were talking about like what the median household income was and how that had been bumped up to like 3 people income
Right.
household or something like that. And so that was how you were trying to figure out what the individual was and then how that plays into like purchasing properties potentially.
Yeah, or just how we calculate housing costs when we
Housing
hear
costs, right?
like real estate companies saying, well, this is what the typical family makes that buys a house that makes this much money or whatever. Like, right, because you're like showing people the houses. They have that information, but it's a 3 income household or something like that.
Yeah, and how many thruples are out there
Right, or like you're just making your children work or things like that
as children?
as teenagers.
Oh.
16-year-old, time for you to start bringing, you gotta get a job at Taco Bell. Like, and go to school because we're all poor, whatever it is. 3 income households as opposed to, I mean, if people could stay home, like be in various kinds of relationships where they can be caretakers for the elderly, caretakers for kids, I mean, you know, taking care of the home. Um, it that time commitment adds up, and also having to like work a full time job, like or work a part time job in addition to, I mean, it seems like why not have it so that one person can afford rent in a 3 bedroom apartment with like a typical job, and they might have children of the elderly, they might have, um, like a partner who doesn't have to work, you know, um, or maybe right a throuple, two partners that don't have to work, and they just like hang out, and they don't just like hang out, but everybody's working and participating in the,
Right.
um,
So
you know,
often, or at least from what I've learned, I used to take a lot of like feminist courses. Um, but the idea of like having unpaid labor, I believe, if I remember correctly, is called feminized labor. Um, where it is also considered unpaid labor for like household, taking care of children, taking care of other family members, um, doing the shopping, doing the cleaning, etc., etc. Um, and then additionally, like you're saying, like to work a job. And I think I mentioned something like this in one of our last episodes as well, but like, not everyone has the same 24 hours in a day. So, you have no commentary? So, like, that just, like, gets into, like, having free time and what people end up doing with their free time. And then, I don't know, there becomes, like, this market of, like, I don't know, advertising or selling to people, like, how to get more free time, or, like, how to do the best of their free time, or, like, I don't know what I'm getting at here, but I'm sorry I derailed everything.
Well, go into what you mean by not everyone has the same 24-hour day.
Yeah, not everyone has the same 24-hour day. Like, some people have more free time. Some people have other people making them their meals because they have money. So they have time to, like, relax, read a book,
There's a
play a
whole
video game.
there's a whole spectrum though. I mean, there like we've and this does come up, and so I'm right. Yes.
So some
what you're
people
saying is
have
true.
a more laborious day, just overall.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not the same 24 hours.
It's not the same day. It's not. People have different people have different experiences
Right.
every day,
You have a mosquito on your foot,
every single day.
sucking all of your blood.
Different people have different experiences.
So I have a different version of the Zoom recording going right now. And my computer is being very loud with the fan, so I'm kind of curious if the listeners can hear that. And I'm going to try to hear it before posting as well. And this is all like a little bit of learning going on here, and thank you for bearing with us. But we're just going to finish out the episode, and we'll address it as we move forward.
Yeah. What else do you have?
What else do I have? Skull and I went to this event that's a fair at the lake. And I kicked ass at skee ball because I love that game. And if I were rich, I would have my own skee ball game in a moderately sized house that I own. I guess I don't have to be rich. I could just be, comfortable, rich.
Right. What are these? What are these distinctions? It comes up. I think it's always been a feature of the American conversation. Of we don't have a class system, right? Defined by law. Like everyone is equal under the law. But all parties of the government believe in a capitalist philosophy, which means the richest people have the most authority. And you do kind of, you can see stratification in our society always. And it really is just, I mean, inequality is pretty bad right now by American standards in America. But there's like apartheid in some parts of the world right now that it's nothing compared to dictatorships and whatever. So I don't. It's not complaining if I'm talking about like American politics, saying that like it's and again I believe in anarchy, so I don't want to like actually promote the idea of like the government being a solution for things or anything like that. I have to turn to anarchy. If I had anything else, I thought it's very unequal. Like different people have different days, different experiences. So there is like, probably some member of Saudi Arabian royalty that's like in America right now, um, that's having a different 24 hours in America than, you know, someone born differently abled in a rough neighborhood and then, joining the military and, having their, legs have to be amputated and, like, getting around and having, like, PTSD flashbacks and stuff. Um,
Yeah.
America.
America.
America. America. America.
I'm gonna change the subject. I sent Skull an article maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I don't think he read it. But sometimes I've been thinking about it. I didn't read the full article just because it was like it started to get a little bit repetitive. But it's about um, trying to remember like how brains and like people being around each other for a while can kind of like sync up.
Okay.
Um,
Where did you send it to me on?
text message. And I might still have it open, but I don't know. I thought it was interesting. Like it, um, I don't know. I just like I often like have here. It says brainwaves synchronize when people interact on scientificamerican.com for those of you who want to look that up.
Will it be in the episode notes?
And I can post a link, but yeah, I don't know. I think about this and um it feels, yeah, I don't know. It feels, I guess, topical to me just in a way that like sometimes people say things that I'm thinking. Um and like maybe it's just like, we're learning like how to be around each other and like learning how to like interact with each other, like it's more of like a subconscious thing. But this one was actually like about the brain waves themselves and about like there's graphs and how they like sync up and stuff like that. So I don't think it's necessarily um like a topic thing. I think it's more like what is it called? Stasis. Like a community stasis or something like that. But anyway, I read that. It just came up in my brain right now. I read that a while ago. Um, maybe y'all have some insight after reading the article or whatever. I don't know. I like science, brains, bodies, etc. Um, and it's American, Scientific American. All right, Skull, do you have any basketball updates?
Nothing right now. A lot of the talk on the podcast is about Damian Lillard um, saying that he wants to be traded to the Miami Heat. And of course, when these players ask for trades like this, they're like, well, and don't trade me for a bunch of assets and good players because I want to go and be good on that team. We were talking about wanting playing time, right, as a motivating factor for players wanting to go to one team or another. And a lot of times what they talk about is that winning. They want to have a chance at winning a championship. They think about their legacy as an all-time great basketball player, things like that. Or maybe they're just like a somewhat older so-called veteran player who is like, yeah, I'd like to just be in a winning situation where we're like going to the playoffs and stuff like that, as opposed to just losing every night. And it can be just like depressing too,
Yeah.
probably. It just depends on where different players are in their career. They might be asked, hey, you're older, you're like this, like you've got all these good like habits, leadership qualities. You're not always going to the club, whatever town we're in. Um, you get along with everybody else on the team. Like you're good at helping, younger players develop good habits, whatever. Um, so you might pay a guy money to like be that presence,
Mm-hmm.
but he's got to be ready to be like, oh, maybe I won't be playing a lot if that's what they're selling me, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll be like on the bench, and they're playing these younger guys or whatever. So but maybe that's okay. Some 35, 37-year-old guy like joints are all sore from taking a pounding professionally up and down the court, jumping, landing, falling. Just like the cardio workouts is wear and tear.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so maybe playing a little bit here and there. There's 82 games in the season. Sometimes the guy will come in 10 minutes in a game every third game or whatever. Just kind of
Yeah.
get a little workout in.
Yeah.
So that's all I got. Is that it? You want to say goodnight?
Yeah. Thank you for listening. Feel free to send me any articles that you might be listening or sorry, watching, reading. And we'll catch y'all next time. Thank you.